So not too long ago, the Lakers made a big trade where they acquired Patrick Beverly from the Utah Jazz. And even though he's on paper a nice fit, an immediate question that many fans had once they acquired him is how exactly does he fit with Russell Westbrook? Because Patrick Beverly and Russell Westbrook have some bad blood. For those who don't know, Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly over the years haven't seen eye to eye. Back when Russell Westbrook was on OKC and Pat Bev was on the Rockets, in a playoff series, Pat Bev made a move that got Russell Westbrook hurt and caused them to miss the rest of that postseason. Russell Westbrook took some shots at Pat Bev last season, saying that Pat Bev got y'all fooled, thinking that he's playing defense. He's just running around there doing nothing. And there was a game where Russell Westbrook shot an air ball where he was trying to win the game, and Pat Bev called him trash. So there's some bad blood between these two. But recently, it's been reported that Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly have been in contact with each other, and the new head coach, Darvin Ham, is saying that he does plan to play them together side by side. So, can Russell Westbrook and can Patrick Beverly fit alongside each other on the Lakers? Let's talk about it. But before we continue, I'm trying to hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you enjoy the content, please drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. So when Darvin Ham says that he plans to have Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly playing alongside each other side by side, I'm not exactly sure that he means that they're going to be playing together in the starting lineup. But up to this point, Darvin Ham has been hyping up Russell Westbrook, telling fans that he wants him to be a pit bull on defense, that he wants Russell Westbrook to shoot corner threes, that he's going to set screens. I'm extremely skeptical because these are areas of Russell's game that he struggled with his entire career, but he's saying that there's going to be a brand new Russell. So if these two were to start together, I'm assuming that means that you're going to have Pat Bev at the 1 and you're going to have Russell Westbrook at the 2. Now, Russell is about 6'5". I know he's listed at 6'3", but more realistically, he's probably around 6'5". He would probably play the shooting guard in that position. And I like Pat Bev's fit in the starting lineup. I really don't like Russell Westbrook's fit in the starting lineup. Patrick Beverly is really the ideal guard you want next to LeBron because Patrick Beverly is still a very good defender and he's a good three-point shooter. I know he's coming off a year where he just shot 34% from 3, but he is a career 38% three-point shooter, and I would expect he would go back to his career norms. Russell Westbrook, I don't see him as much of a good fit. He's not a very good defender. I know Darvin Ham says that he's going to commit to defense, but old habits die hard. Russell Westbrook's habit of being a ball watcher and not paying attention to his man, this is something that's followed him back in OKC. So I really wouldn't expect that Russell Westbrook is going to become a great defender. And also, he's not a very good outside shooter. This is a guy that, again, has struggled with the 3-ball his entire career. Now, I know that he did shoot about 40% in the corner last season, but it's a very small sample size. So I'm pretty skeptical that over a big sample size that he's going to shoot well from the corner. I think they could try starting Russell Westbrook next to Patrick Beverly at the 2, but I'm very skeptical that it's going to work. I don't think it's a very good fit. The spacing on the floor is not going to be good because teams are going to ignore Russell Westbrook and have him prove that he can hit the 3-ball, which is going to give guys like LeBron and Anthony Davis less room to operate. Ideally, if I was to pick anybody on this current Lakers roster to start at the 2 guard, I would choose Austin Reeves. And Austin Reeves isn't a special player. He's a lot worse than Russell Westbrook, but he's a much better fit, in my opinion, in our starting lineup. Austin Reeves is a hustle player. He's a defender, not a great defender, but at least a solid one. The main question mark with Austin Reeves is, can he shoot the 3-ball well enough to keep the defense honest? He only shot 32% from 3 in his rookie season, which isn't good. That's not going to be enough to draw the defense, but if he can at least be respectable, like 35 and 36%, I think he's way better in the starting lineup as the 2 guard next to Patrick Beverly than Russell Westbrook. In my opinion, I think the only way that Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly would fit on the same team together would be if Russell Westbrook would take a slice of humble pie and accept a 6-man role off the bench, which I'm not sure that he wants to do, but I think that in order to optimize what the Lakers have next year, that would be the best decision. Instead of telling Russell Westbrook to be something that he's never really been in his entire career, and that's a 3-and-D off-ball guard, let him play the way that he wants to play, but stagger his minutes with LeBron and Anthony Davis and let him play that role off the bench. And I still think that Russell could thrive. In fact, I think that he could potentially be a 6th man of the year. I think that he could be similar to what Dennis Schroeder was for OKC back in 2019 when they made the playoffs with Chris Paul. Have Russell be the backup point guard, have him play in lineups that's not alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and let him have the ball in those lineups and let him go to work, driving to the basket, scoring at the rim, kicking the ball out to the open man. If he was to accept that role, I think that that would be the best way to optimize the Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly duo. But playing Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly alongside each other in the starting lineup next to LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I just don't think it's going to work. Now, Darvin Ham may start the season with that, with Russell Westbrook at the 2 and Patrick Beverly at the 1, but I think that very quickly when the spacing on the floor is bad and Russell Westbrook isn't playing the type of defense that he really wants him to play, he's going to realize, actually, this isn't a good idea. Let's have Russell Westbrook come off the bench and be a 6-man. Now, I'm sure that Lakers fans are still holding out hope that Russell Westbrook will get traded, and I do think that it's possible, but I don't think that it's a guarantee. The Lakers front office is extremely unwilling to give up both their 2027 and 2029 first round pick, and unfortunately, they're going to have to bite the bullet and move both of those picks in order to move Russell. We know that the Pacers trade has been on the table for over a month now, where they get back Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. The Lakers have talked to the Jazz. There's a potential 3-way trade where they send Russell Westbrook along with those 2 first-round picks, and they get back some players from the Jazz and some players from the Knicks. I saw a recent report that the Lakers would like to get Cameron Reddish from the Knicks, but unfortunately, they're going to have to give up both of those picks, and I can understand why the Lakers front office is unwilling to give both of those draft picks. For starters, if they give up both of those picks, even if they are able to contend, the Lakers are going to be in the dark ages not having any draft picks, because after LeBron retires and if Anthony Davis isn't on the team long term, the Lakers are probably going to be bad, meaning that you're going to be giving top 5 draft picks potentially to the Utah Jazz. And not only that, if you trade both picks, there's no more ammunition left to improve the team. And if a Miles Turner and Buddy Hield pickup isn't really enough to make the Lakers a contender, then you're pretty much stuck with that team. So I can understand the hesitance to give both of those picks up to move Russ. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the Lakers front office is thinking, but what they might want to do is just say, you know what, let's just go into the season with Russ, see if this can work, and then even if it doesn't work, a season from now, Russell Westbrook comes off the books, and then they have over $30 million in cap space. Then Miles Turner is going to be a free agent next offseason. Then you could just sign Miles Turner into cap space and not have to give up cap room. There's also going to be some nice 3-and-D wings that will be available next year in free agency that the Lakers can get. Jay Crowder, who's a really nice 3-and-D player for the Suns, he'll be available. Josh Richardson will also be a free agent. He's a nice 3-and-D wing. So you can make those additions with just signing them into your cap space and still have your 2 first-round picks. But again, the big risk with that is that if you wait and keep Russell Westbrook on the team, you're potentially wasting a year of LeBron's prime. And at age 38, I'm not sure if he's 37 or 38 years old right now. If you waste another year of LeBron's prime, you don't know how many more years he has left to play at this MVP level. So the Lakers are in a pretty tough spot right here. Their backs are against the wall, but they did this to themselves by taking on Russell Westbrook with over $40 million a year left on his contract for 2 seasons. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm curious about what other fans think. Do you think that the Lakers should just go into next season with Russell Westbrook and with Patrick Beverly and see if they can coexist and see if they can make it work? Or should they offload Russ along with 2 first-round picks to get a couple of pieces that can help improve the team? Let me know in the comments, and drop a like on the video and subscribe, and click this video to see 4 Russell Westbrook trades that could potentially get him off the team.